Welcome back to Cooking with Siobhan. I'm Siobhan Muir, and today we are making churro cheesecake bars. Now, you can find this recipe online. I think it's the original website is liluna.com, churro cheesecake bars. You can totally go and use their recipe. They are the basis for this particular recipe, but I'm doing it gluten-free and they do not. So we kind of had to wing this a little bit. So what they're going to ask you to do is you need cinnamon sugar mixture, which is half a cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. So you'll put it in a bowl and mix it together, and so you get cinnamon sugar. And that's a good way to do it. The filling will be 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese softened, a half a cup of sugar, 1 egg, and a teaspoon of vanilla. You're gonna end up mixing that all together, and then there's a crust. Now, this is where things go different, because what they're gonna suggest you use is 2 Pillsbury crescent dough sheets. That's fine, you could do that, but they don't make them gluten-free, and we scoured the town looking for pre-made gluten-free crescent rolls. We were not lucky. So what I thought, well, my pie crust is really flaky. So how about I make a pie crust and we use that as the basis for the crust. It's not crescent rolls, but I think it'll work just the same. Which is why you can see it right here. I rolled out the first one because you're gonna have to make 2 of them, right? So I rolled out the first one, and once we do what we need to do for the crescent rolls, or not the crescent rolls, the churros, I will roll out the next one and you can watch me do it, or you know how to make a pie crust. So the first instructions is combine the half cup of sugar and the 2 tablespoons of cinnamon in a small bowl and set it aside. Done. Then it says beat the cream cheese until smooth, add in the sugar, the egg, and the vanilla, and beat until smooth and creamy, and set that aside. I have the softened cream cheese in a bowl, and so what we'll do is we will add the sugar. We will add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and we will add the egg. And then we're going to beat until smooth and creamy. The cheese was already soft, so there was no real reason to beat it first. You might as well just combine everything and beat it that way. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. It's almost liquid. It's kind of cool. All right, and then it says spray a 9 by 13 inch pan with non-stick spray, and then sprinkle half the cinnamon sugar mixture on it. So here's my pan, and then I'm gonna set this over here. You're going to make sure that your 9 by 13 inch pan is completely covered. All right. Now, you can also ta-da! Okay, now here's when things get tricky. You're going to take this crust, unwrap it, and put it in here. I hope. Again, I'm just winging this. Save your plastic if you do this, because you're going to need it for the second crust, okay? Oh, wow! Look at me. Now, the original recipe says trim it down so it fits really well. So I'm gonna take a knife, something with a flat blade, and I'm going to trim and take this stuff out. Now, since you have to make another crust anyway, feel free to save these pieces and add it. If you split your dough in half and it wasn't quite enough for the second half, you can always use this dough. Look at that. Ta-da! Ta-da! Gluten-free crust. All right. Then it says, unroll the dough and lift carefully in the pan until it fits. All right. Then spread the cream cheese mixture evenly over the dough and then put on the second crust. We will have to roll out the second crust, but first we are going to the neat thing is, this thing can be easily spread out, just real gentle. You don't have to do anything exciting because it's pretty liquidy. The next thing you do is, like I said, we're gonna set this aside. Preheat your oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 170 degrees Celsius. That way, you're ready to go put it in when you get the other crust put together. You'll be baking this for about 30 minutes. But in the meantime, now all I did was use a simple pie crust because anything more is a little too complex to put together. A simple pie crust will work just as well for this dish, because really what you want to make is you're kind of making cookies. Okay. Sometimes reminding the crumbs that they want to be together is a good way to start this off because, like I said, gluten-free tends to be a little drier. You are trying to make a 9 by 13 inch crust. All right. Here's hoping. Ooh, yep, see? Sometimes you have to kind of hope. Now with this one, you won't need the crust. So if it crumbles and you don't want to keep it, totally cool. Done. Don't have to worry. Not bad for a gluten-free crust. All right, and then the last thing it says is sprinkle the remaining cinnamon sugar on the top of the dough and then bake it. Ta-da! All right, then this goes into the oven for about 30 minutes, and I love this, or until light brown. So we'll do 30 minutes and see how it goes. How's that? But yeah, that's really simple, especially if you can do this without gluten-free. It is a really simple recipe. You just have a couple things and spray the pan, put it together, call it good. I'll put this in for 30 minutes. We'll start that. And yeah, we'll see you in 30 minutes to see how they turn out. I'm not sure if that counts as light brown, but at this point it tells you nothing. My guess is you need to let it cool for probably about an hour, and you will need to store it in an airtight container in the fridge, because cheesecake, there's egg and cheese and things like that in it. So we could try to cut it. It might ooze out though, but we could try to cut it, because that's where it stops. It says bake for 30 minutes until light brown. Well, great. Then, do you chill it? Well, it's hot. I think it's good. I think it needs a different dough. But I think in a pinch, if you would like churro cheesecake bars, I think this recipe would work. I think you'll be able to taste it more when it cools. And I think it would be really good cold, like chilled, gluten-free, churro cheesecake bars. Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely ring the bell to find out when there's new videos. Subscribe to the channel, like and comment on the video. What did you do different? Did you use a different kind of dough? And definitely sign up for Patreon and Coffee, ko-fi.com. I am moving away from Meta products, that'd be Facebook and Instagram, and I'm starting to post more on my coffee site and my Patreon, even the free. I'm starting to do more of that because I want to reach folks and don't want to play the algorithm game with Facebook. So definitely join me there. Happy making, happy baking, happy eating, and happy reading. See you later.